guys, welcome back to my channel. If you do not recognize me, it means that you are not subscribed and you should fix that down below. If you do not know me, my name is Elizabeth and today's video is going to be about how I plan all of the trips that I go on, because I go on a lot of trips and I travel a lot, and a lot of people are like, how do you just find things to do? And so today I'm going to tell you. The example trip I'm going to use is a trip to the Phoenix, Arizona area and then traveling north to the Grand Canyon. I did this last December 2016, and then my mom and sister leave for the same trip this coming Tuesday, so I kind of have their trip laid out and I'm going to explain to you guys how I do that. So I live in Cincinnati, and so I have to fly everywhere if I'm going to go across the country, and so I want to be able to optimize all the time that I have when I'm there so that I don't have to, look for Wi-Fi, so I can Google stuff and try to see what would be cool. Or I don't really like going to a lot of touristy areas if I can avoid it, because I want to see like some unique things that I just happen to find. And so I have this mapped out so that you can take one trip. You don't have to go back and forth numerous directions. You can go around Phoenix and then up to northern Arizona and then back down to catch your flight again. Obviously this trip doesn't work for everyone. I'm just doing an example for what I did for them. But how I usually plan trips is that I don't ever book anything until I get there, like my hotel and stuff. I never do that until I'm there, because I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. This is just like a plan. And so I always get on, I know it sounds weird, but I type in the city on Instagram, and then I zoom out and see like where there are like grassy areas on Instagram, like the map part at the top, so that I can look to see what those places are called, and then I type those into Instagram and see what other like pictures people post there. This gives me a very raw and unedited view of what that area has, because people aren't going to post pictures of things they don't think are cool and they didn't enjoy. And so a lot of like travel places online will post things and be like, oh yeah, everyone loves this, it's so cool. And then if it doesn't really have anything on Instagram, I'm like, well, how many people really went there and how many people really enjoyed it? And so I want to make sure that it looks really fun and cool, and that's a way that's like not sponsored or anything, that I can see what that area has to offer. And so I did this, and in the Phoenix area, I recommended to them that they spend a day and a half or 2 days there. They're going to land in the morning at the Sky Harbor International Airport is what I believe it's called. And so the first thing I'm going to have them do is go a little bit north. It's very close to the airport, and it's called Papagadro Park. And so this has a really cool hole in the rock. I found this on Instagram. It's a really short walk. It's not like, it's pretty flat. A lot of people worry about going up hills and mountains and stuff in Arizona, but this is really pretty flat. It's hole in the rock. It's beautiful. I'll post some pictures in here from the trip I went on in December of how awesome it is. It was one of my favorite parts and I loved it. So I honestly really recommend this. And then this is also close to the airport, but it's going northeast-ish a little bit. So they just continue with their little circle. It's kind of a hard hike, and I do recommend bringing water because I didn't bring water. But I also found this on Instagram, just zooming out and seeing another little green patch. The green, if you don't know, it means it's like a park or a nature preserve or something cool. I'm an outdoorsy person. I don't really like hanging out in the city that much, and so that's how I find things I want to do. But it's Echo Canyon Park, and it's like these two really, really big mountains. You can hike across them, you can hike up one and then back down, or go up one, down the other. Anything. It's a beautiful view, and I absolutely loved it. And so it's very challenging, but it's very worth it. And then I think that's a couple hours hike, and so I recommended for them to just do that in the first day after they land, because they're going to be pretty tired anyway with the time change. And then they're going to start going to the west on the other side of the airport. It's a little bit of a drive, but it was so worth it. It's called Estrella Mountain Park, and once I got there, when I was there, found it on the green on the map on Instagram again, and then once I was in there, I stopped at a little booth to pay to get in because it's a national park, and he gave me a brochure for things that were in the park. And so I found the Coral Rest Horse Adventures. I only recommend going to this area if you want to ride horses. There are a lot of places to hike, but it was a far drive. I rode horses for about 2 hours, I think. The people were phenomenal. I absolutely loved it. I got to ride horses through the desert, and it was such a cool experience. So I recommend that, but I only recommend driving that far if you're gonna want to ride horses. I think it was about $50 for the hour and a half, 2 hours, or whatever it was. White Tank Mountain is on the west side of the airport, kind of near this, kind of not as well. But I found this, again, with the green on Instagram. I would absolutely recommend this, 10 out of 10. It's such an easy walk. It's about, I think, a mile or a mile and a half out, and you dead end into this. It used to be a waterfall, but when I was there, it ran out of water, and it was just like, it was 75 degrees there, and the rocks were just white. It looked like it was covered in snow, and it was like dead-ended just to this, and it was absolutely beautiful. So I absolutely do recommend that. After they spend these 2 days in Phoenix, I suggest that they start traveling up north. On the same highway, they're going to run into Sedona. For those of you who do not know, Sedona is the area that has all of the red rocks. You really just, the highway, it's not really a highway, the road, not the highway that I'm used to in Cincinnati. The road just runs into like these big rocks on the side, and we just happened to stumble across a hotel right there. We didn't want to book anything because we didn't know exactly where we'd be going, but we stayed right there in that hotel with these beautiful like views of these rocks. And so once we were there, it was just easy to stumble upon all these hiking trails. There were a ton of signs. It was really easy to plan once we were there, but obviously I saw a lot of stuff from Instagram, which is how I found the church I wanted to go to that weekend, Cathedral Rock Church. It had a beautiful view of all of the rocks and like mountains and stuff in the background. I call these big rocks mountains, but I don't know if they're technically qualified as mountains. They don't have like snow or anything, but they're like just rocks, I guess, giant rocks. Cathedral Rock is out there, which is absolutely beautiful. There's like a ton of stuff to do that you can just stumble upon, finding like signs and stuff that you don't have to worry about like going online. TripAdvisor is always pretty good for like restaurants, but as for things to do, I recommend everything else. For them, I also have them stopping in Flagstaff. I didn't do that. I didn't go that far north because we didn't have as much time. Northern Arizona University is there. I want to look into going there for grad school for physical therapy, so I recommended for them that they stop and tour it for me, but that's not for everyone. Then north, I also have the Grand Canyon, just because why not see it? I know it's very high touristy, and I know a lot of people go there, but I think it's absolutely beautiful. I've never gotten to see it, but I worked it into their schedule because they'll have a little bit of extra time. And then also it's northeast a little bit more, so it's a little bit like not close to the Grand Canyon. Like directionally on a map it's pretty close mile wise, but since the roads are all like it's not, and so it takes a long time to get there. I recommended going to Antelope Canyon because I really want to go there. It's absolutely beautiful. Again, I found it on Instagram. So many people have just such beautiful shots of it. Apparently it's very small, but from all the pictures it can look like giant, and so that's why I recommended for them to go there, because I want to see their pictures. But yeah, that's all I really have for this video. A lot of people think it's so weird that I just find everywhere I want to go through Instagram, but I mean, you get to see genuine, unedited, like, perceptions of it. I know people edit their pictures, but it's not like edited in a way to like want to make you to go there. It's just being like, wow, this is a really cool experience that I had. So yeah, that's how I do all of my traveling. That's how I plan everything. It is a great idea to go online and Google things to do. If something cool comes up, then I look it up on Instagram too. But Instagram's usually my main go-to for traveling. And so a lot of people ask, and that is my answer. That is all for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, leave them down below and I will be sure to answer them. Remember to check out some of my other videos and subscribe to my channel. I try to put out new videos every week, sometimes numerous times a week. I do a lot of travel stuff on my channel and a lot of my adventures. So if you guys have anywhere cool for me to add to that list, just let me know. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.